let me put this into a global context, okay? The 18th century, 19th century, mostly 18th century, was the development of a lot of science, including medical science, where we started to understand the body as we know it today in its anatomical and physiological understanding. The brain, the nervous system. In 1906 was the discovery of the endocrine system. And a century later, with all the sophistication of science, we go to Mars, we come back, we put a camera in the brain, and now we discover, oops, we have a repair system that we had never seen before. It's too big in medicine. So I'm looking at this and it falls on my plate. And it's mine because I'm talking about it. And at first, for years, I mean, I remember once giving a lecture on this in a group of doctors. And there was this expert in diabetes, and he kind of raised his hand and he says, well, sorry, but I have to tell you something that obviously nobody is telling you, but you're just an idiot. Stem cells cannot become brain cells. I said, if you want, I'll go to my room and I'll get you the papers. He says, don't do this. This is nonsense. So all the data is there. It's in the scientific literature. It's published, but it's hitting a dogma. If you did not hear about this while you were in med school, it's impossible to change your mind. Some people do on the fringe, and that's what we're doing right now. We're talking about it, and we're slowly allowing the new people in the field of medicine hearing about it. It will take time to change. But as I see this change, I find it fascinating. But where the passion comes today, 20 years later, is the people. When I give the product to people and they come and they say, for the past 10 years, I couldn't play golf, hike in the mountain as I used to, play with my grandkids, whatever it is, and I can do it, thank you. For a non-scientist, the understanding of science is that it's hard facts. It's you observe it, you describe it, and if a scientist say it, then that's what it is. And there is so much human factor in science. For example, Ramon y Cajal, a Nobel Prize in physiology and medicine, a neurologist, father of neurology, said in 1920s, the brain cannot regenerate. It is a fact that I hope science will change in the future. But the prestige of this scientist was such that in spite of many observations that said the nervous system can regenerate, even as I studied neurology, which is my field, in the 1980s, I was taught the brain does not regenerate. When stem cell research started in the early 2000s, the concept is that the brain cannot regenerate. There's a lot of data telling us that the brain could regenerate. We refused it because somebody said that they cannot. That's the world of science. The HeLa cell is a good example. We know that there are immortal cells. Alexander Maximow in 1905 said the body contains in the bone marrow a stem cells, a mother cells in the broadest sense of the term that can become any cells of the body. Nobody believed them. A century later, we discover he saw it back then. So in between, it's just minds. It's people not open to an idea. So there's a lot of humanness in science, and we need to face that. So everything that we're talking about stem cells right now will become part of medicine, will change if the money of medicine, if the business and the economics of medicine does not stand in the way. We will have to accept that stem cells are changing completely our understanding of health and wellness, and we will be able to give people health and wellness and allow them to age with health and radiance and with grace.